Hi everyone, I'm PrinceB.
And I'm Master Moses. This will be the first analysis in which you can hear both of our opinions.
For our first real united video, we'll each be listing our top 10 favorite Pokemon.
In this video, we're each going to take turns listing out our favorites.
We'll also be giving a brief overview of why we each chose the Pokemon we chose.
While we could have done two separate videos, we felt it'd be easiest to do it like this.
This way, we can condense everything into one video, as well as get you all used to us working on projects together.
This is something we intend to do more of in the future, although we'll still have our solo projects. Also, we would like to point out that these are just our personal favorites, and if your favorite isn't on the list, it's not like, hey, we don't like it.
Yeah, after all, I like most Pokemon, and I know that even if he won't admit it, Master Moses has a special place in his heart for that lovable pile of sludge muck.
No, that's certainly not the case. The only limitation we put into place was avoiding legendary Pokemon, as we felt they would have an unfair advantage.
So without further ado, let's start the lists. As the Prince, I'll go first.
Tisk tisk, grandeur first then.
In the number 10 slot, I have Aegislash, the Steel Ghost Blade. I happen to love Pokemon with blade motifs. It takes me on a journey of knights protecting the land, serving justice, king and country. Or in this case, prince and country. Obviously a Pokemon that is a sword would be the ultimate symbol of this.
It's a classy Pokemon, rather sharp.
Also, Aegislash is a solid competitor on the battle scene as well, and was the first shiny I hatched once X and Y came out. With its mighty base stats and interesting ability in stance change, Aegislash can hit hard and defend just as well. All these reasons are why it is number 10 on my list.
Now it's my turn, and at number 10 I have Feraligatr. Now this isn't the most competitive Pokemon, but it's here for a nostalgic reason. On my 7th birthday I was gifted my first video game, Pokemon Crystal.
So what if you've been this game twice as long as me? I can still stand my ground.
I soon began in my journey together with my trusted Totodile, clashing against gym after gym, finally facing down Red in an epic clash atop Mount Silver. The battle came down to our final Pokemon, my beloved Feraligatr and his Pikachu. Despite all odds, the victory...
You mean Victini?
Sure, the Victini went us, and we stood atop the world. In the years since, the internal battery has long since run dry, and he is no more. But he shall live forever with my heart and memory.
In the number 9 slot, I put Frostlass, another ghost, but this time an ice and ghost combo. I actually have Japanese heritage, so I especially love Pokemon that draw inspiration from Japanese culture, and Frostlass is no exception, being based off the Japanese myth of the Yuki-onna.
Which in itself is quite the story, and worth looking up.
Despite her frailty, Frostlass can pose a threat to the unprepared team. Frostlass has a heart of ice under her beautiful kimono. Yes, beyond her beauty is a merciless power that will leave you out in the cold, and that's why she's at number 9.
For my 9th favorite, I selected Venusaur. Another throwback to times of old, Venusaur has always been my favorite of the Kanto starters' final forms. I even then enjoyed strategies focused on statuses, a trait of my teams that continues to this day.
I must cry foul! Someone has attempted to poison the prince!
The combination of Toxic exponentially decreasing the foe's health, Leech Seed expediting the process while stealing myself, sending in substitutes to take hits, and using Protect to block even more makes for a tough defense to crack. Even more so with Venusaur's new Mega evolution, which not only boosts his ample defenses, but also grants him the ability Thick Fat, eliminating two of his weaknesses at once, fire and ice.
Following on the topic of beauty from my number 9, For number 8, I have the ever-beautiful Siren of the Deep, Milotic. The very icon of beauty in the Pokemon world, Milotic has ugly duckling syndrome. She evolves from the ugly and derpy, yet endearing Feebas into the elegant Milotic. I can identify with this. I'm just waiting to get a Prism scale of my own.
Or a few Pokeblocks. Then again, that would mean Generation 3 is confirmed.
Sadly, beauty cannot make up for strength, as in Milotic's case, she's by no means the strongest or most useful Pokemon on the battlefield. Though Milotic can carve a niche as a defensive wall, she really is best left off the battlefield. Even so, Milotic has risen from the depths to number 8 on my list.
In the 8th place, I call forth the Dark Knight of Johto, Crobat Man.
I am the knight. Just kidding, I'm the prince.
Crobat is one of the fastest Pokemon on the list, and can outspeed many opponents, delivering a variety of statuses such as Confusion and Bad Poisoning. It can then follow up and strike down crippled foes with powerful poison moves such as Cross Poison, hitting hard and fast.
For number 7 we have, I seem to have misplaced it.
Just like you always lose your keys.
That's right, because number 7 is the adorable Klefki, Mighty Dragon Slayer. Gen 6 brought us the new fairy typing, and with it, the interesting steel and fairy Klefki. From the idea that fairies are known to hide our objects, such as keys, little keyring Pokemon Klefki was born.
Now how are we going to start the all-terrain Venomoth?
Although I know it's a fairly gimmicky and trollsy strategy, I absolutely love the Swag Key set, in which you paralyze a foe with Thunder Wave and then confuse them, making it unlikely that the opponent will hurt you. Klefki is the key to the kingdom and has unlocked for itself a special place in my heart, making it my number 7 favorite Pokemon.
In 7th place, I have Greninja.
Another starter?
Yes, but it's the last one though, I promise. And there's a good reason behind it. Greninja, quite obviously being based off the concept of a ninja frog, which is the Battletoad's faster cousin, can form quite a challenge to opponents. He has a wide array of moves, including 2 signatures, in particular Water Shuriken, which has priority and can hit up to 5 times. Where Greninja really shines, though, is through its hidden ability, Protean. Protean can alter Greninja's type to match that of moves it uses, allowing you to constantly shift its weaknesses and strengths around, keeping your opponent guessing by using a large variety.
At the number 6 slot, we have Haunter.
You sure have a lot of ghosts.
Yep, I tend to gravitate to certain types. The Ghost is one of them. Now, the reason Haunter is here requires a bit of backstory. I was in kindergarten when the Pokemon anime first came to the US, and I was in love with it. Everything was so amazing. A gigantic fire-breathing dragon going toe-to-toe with a fire duck, the weak Magikarp evolving into the mighty Gyarados. It was all great. But probably my favorite part was when Ash went to recruit a ghost to take on Sabrina. There he met the hilarious pranksters that were the Gengar evolution line. I loved the Ghost Trio's antics, and any one of the trio could have easily made this spot. After all, Gengar is a powerhouse, and I was actually ghastly for Halloween in kindergarten. But I happen to think Haunter was the funniest, and overall coolest looking of the 3, landing it in slot 6.
Ironically, my number 6 is actually pretty close. That's right, mine is Gengar.
Poor old Ghastly's feeling left out.
I always loved the concept behind a Pokemon based off shadows following the caster. And Gengar backs up such a reputation, with speed and special attack high enough to cover most threats, and a wide range of powerful moves to use. His Mega Evolution, while controversial due to losing the ability to levitate, is powerful enough to be banned in competitive battling, and until then was a favorite of mine.
It also resembles Clefable. In fact, theories are out there that Gengar is Clefable's shadow. Number 5 is the Harbinger of Peace, a key component to the ideal world Justica seeks to shape. That Pokemon is Togekiss. This angel is said to appear not in realms of strife. Though its shiny coloration isn't great, it's the same but with the red and blue inverted, I still really like this one. I actually want a life-size Togekiss plush I could use as a pillow. Oh well.
I'd make one, but I assure you it'd look closer to a blob.
Yet another reason I love Togekiss is its usefulness on the battlefield. Like Klefki, it can run a paralysis combo in which it uses Thunder Wave to paralyze the foe, along with Air Slash, which has a 30% chance of flinching. Armed with its ability Serene Grace, Air Slash has a whopping 60% chance of causing flinching, which when combined with paralysis means your opponent isn't going to be doing much. Personally, I like to think that Togekiss teaches the opponent to remember that they're in the presence of a prince. My princely aura brings my foes to their knees.
My number 5 is Malamar, another new generation Pokemon and one with quite the unique evolution method. Malamar evolves by training Inkay to level 30 and holding the 3DS upside down.
Fun fact, this is one I very seriously considered for my list. It reminds me of myself. Also, I get sick every time I evolve an Inkay.
Outside of battle, Malamar can have uses with the ability Suction Cups to assist in chain fishing. But where it really shines is with the ability Contrary, which reverses all stat changes made to it. This leads to a variety of strategies, most relying on it, such as using the move Superpower. Superpower, which usually compensates for its high power by lowering the attack and defense of the Pokemon, now boosts both, creating a sweeper in no time. Combine that with tricky techniques such as Topsy-Turvy, which reverses the stats of the opponent, or Trick, which swaps items. You never really know what to expect when going into battle against such a foe.
Remember how I said I like Pokemon based off Japanese culture? Well, number 4 is another one. It's Mawile. Mawile is based on the Fudakuchi Onna, the woman with a mouth on the back of her head. Also, Mawile has the cutest hairstyle ever.
Unless you count the teeth in it.
Mawile is a Pokemon I always liked design-wise, being one of the cutest Pokemon, but never being strong. That changed in Generation 6. Like Klefki, Mawile is a Steel and Fairy, which is great typing, being immune to both Poison and Dragon-type attacks. Its Mega Evolution just makes it stronger, as its ability doubles Mawile's attack to massive levels. Due to its design, I love Mawile, and its power makes it all the more appealing. Honestly, it could have easily taken any of the top 3 spots as well, but it just got barely edged out, landing it in number 4.
In the 4th slot is a Pokemon brilliant beyond all others, my Alakazam. And yes, it's pictured shiny here to honor the gift given to me by none other than our very own PrinceB.
No problem. I'm pretty impatient with anything other than finding shinies. Behold the bonds that tie us, the leaders of Justica.
Already overpowering most foes with its mind-powered special attacks, his Mega Form grants him all the more power, allowing him to outspeed and sweep against many foes. He can also use the move Psyshock, attacking using his special attack against the foe's defense, making him even more versatile and a staple in my teams.
If you watched my first solo video for this channel, you'll know I adore butterflies. They're so symbolic, having a variety of different meanings. So number 3 I have Volcarona.
Isn't Volcarona
I'm well aware that Volcarona is a moth, not a butterfly. But honestly, all the butterfly Pokemon suck. Volcarona is the closest Pokemon we have to a competitive butterfly. Its limited move pool gives it everything it needs to succeed. With Quiver Dance to boost its speed, special attack, and special defense, Fiery Dance to boost its special attack, Bug Buzz to attack through substitutes, and Roost to heal off the damage. Further, Volcarona has the base stats to back this up. Until Game Freak decides to give us a competitive butterfly Pokemon, Volcarona will have a slot in all my teams, landing it in the number 3 slot.
The third choice here is, well, all of the above, really. And more. Ditto, the transform Pokemon. And no, it's not a cop-out choice, not really. My reasoning isn't the cliched because it's all of them answer. Ditto has value of its own.
Indeed, I almost placed it on my list simply for its use in shiny breeding.
Ditto is invaluable in the breeding process, making it a must-have for any competitive player. Able to breed with nearly any Pokemon, it allows trainers to hunt for shinies, as PrinceB mentioned, as well as Pokemon with just the right balance of IVs and nature.
But mostly shinies.
Ditto also sticks out in the competitive field with the addition of its hidden ability, Imposter. Imposter transforms the moment it comes into battle, though also goes to the extreme, copying not just type and moves, but also down to stats and EVs, save for health. This thereby allows its trainer to know the foe's full moveset and copying it, duplicating the strategy of an opponent, often useful at the beginning of a match to copy the setup of the foe.
I love animals, especially animals with symbolism behind them. Butterflies represent to me hope and change, owls traditionally represent wisdom, and sheep are purity, well, lambs anyways. In number 2, we have a little sheep who's not quite as innocent as it seems. It's actually something of a prankster. That's right, number 2 is the adorable and devious grass sheep, Whimsicott. Like I said earlier, I love trollsy strategies, and Whimsicott was the first viable abuser of the ability Prankster, which is a very trollish ability. Further, Whimsicott's bulk and move pool make it a great staller and annoyer. Whimsicott got even better with its immunity to dragons in Gen 6 via its transition to the fairy type.
You got even more fairies than ghosts on your list. So, number 2 is for alligator. Right, that can't be right. Here, let me attack it.
Ah, I fell for it again! Zoroark. It must have disguised itself as the bottom Pokemon from your list.
Tricky little guy. Zoroark, the Master of Illusion, to all appearances comes out as the final Pokemon in your team as you call it forth. If used skillfully, this can deceive your opponent into using moves that don't affect it in the slightest, or have little strategic value against Zoroark itself.
You change it around so much I always fall for it. But I really like its mane? Hair? Whatever it is, gets a 10 in my book.
The illusion fades when struck, as you saw. In the past, I've often used this technique in conjunction with my Gengar, as they balance each other's type weaknesses. The logical moves to use against Gengar are Ghost, Dark, and Psychic types. Ghost and Dark moves are going to be weak against Zoroark, however, and Psychic moves will be altogether worthless. You can even maintain the illusion longer by attacking with Shadow Ball, a believable move for Gengar to use. More recently, it's gotten more use with my top choice.
If you know me, you know I'm a huge fan of Gallade.
That's for sure.
He was one of the first Pokemon I ever really liked back when I first started playing the games. Further, he goes back to the reason I like Aegislash, being very knightly. Heck, his ability is even justified, perfect for the leader of Team Justica. If you know me very well, you also know I love Gardevoir. Gardevoir is to me the prince or princess to Gallade's knight. But neither are on this list. Instead, it's Ralts, the Pokemon that evolves into the whole evolutionary line. Ralts is so adorable, matching others on my list like Mawile, Whimsicott, and even Klefki. I honestly think that Ralts is as adorable, if not more so, than Kawaii champion and fan favorite Eevee. I love Ralts and its evolution line so much that I caught 17 shiny ones via chaining in Diamond, in addition to the 2 I hatched for competitive battling on X and Y. Also, I love the fact that male Ralts can eventually evolve into the elegant and gracefully beautiful Gardevoir. That's Ralts line 1, gender stereotypes 0. Here it is, Moses' favorite Pokemon. It's gotta be Muck. It's gotta be Muck.
At number 1 is Espeon. Rejected! Magic Bounce. Espeon's ability bounces back your interjection. Thus is its power. Any status condition gets returned to sender. This extends to any number of situations, including moves like Leech Seed, Toxic, Confuse Ray,
My Thunder Wave flinch tactics,
as well as entry hazards. This makes for an amazing line of defense, and with Team Preview it can be decided whether to lead or not. As I mentioned before, a viable strategy is also to copy with Zoroark, causing your opponent to avoid such moves.
but I still got my Butterfly Moth's Bug Buzz.
Often switching the force as well, which thereby helps against ghost-heavy users who attempt to switch in and end up facing a dark type. Thus, in the end, my trickiest technique is to turn my opponent's troops back against them. In the end, if you use status-based teams and I bring forth Espeon, your chances of victory drop to 0. Thus concludes our countdown. Or not.
Did you guys notice we both mentioned the word 0 at the ends of our respective number 1s?
That's because there's a Pokemon so powerful, so awe-inspiring, that a single list could not contain its glory.
Guiding our Pokemon journey, he is
Lord
Helix.
Helix.
Nup tup. We hope you've enjoyed our combined top 10 Pokemon lists.
And we hope that you like and subscribe.
Leave a comment below, tell us your favorites, or ideas for future videos.
And above all, spread the word, tell your friends, boyfriends, girlfriends, brothers, sisters,
parents, teachers, neighbors, and all nearby hobos about us.
That's silly, my prince. Hobos don't have internet.
Also, we'd like to once again give a shout out to Rinmaru Games,
which is where we got the cheap AB avatars used in this video.
Till next time, this is PrinceB.
And this is Master Moses.
Signing off.
Signing off.